Welcome to the website training webinar. This is Nicholas, your presenter, and today we will go over the beginners section, Microsite Guidelines and Approval. Okay, so here we go. We are starting off at the main Kappa Kappa Gamma website. Under the community section is the chapter and association websites. And at the bottom we see website internet guidelines for chapters and website internet guidelines for the associations. Let's go ahead and pull up the guidelines. Alright, so here we have the guidelines for websites and chapter, or for the Alumni Association. And up at the top here we have the date of last update. And then if we go to our webinar website, we have the home page. And if I go up here to welcome, or to page 2, and let's see, actually let's go ahead and start a new page. We'll call it site last updated. Click on add. We'll have the Wasigi editor. Alright, now we're going to click on a droplet here, and we are going to click on Site Modified. Okay, so basically what this does is that whenever you make changes to your site, it will update with the time and date of when your website was last updated. So for example, I updated or modified on March the 16th, 2012 at 16:50 p.m., which is actually, if you convert that into a 12-hour format, it'd be 4:50 p.m. And whenever I make an update to it, it will change. But anyway, let's go ahead and look at our guidelines again. So here we have, on the second one, we have follow fraternity bylaws and policies. These fraternity documents, like the bylaws, are on the website. You can do a search for those. And of course, if you want to send an email to the technology chairman, she will also look over your site and make sure that these follow the guidelines. Make sure that your website needs any grammar corrections or anything of that nature. And then on the third one below, there's the follows fraternity trademark guidelines. Again, those are also on the website. And then following that, we have the follow local, state, and national laws. And then after that, we have the register with the fraternity via the technology chairman. Basically, what that means is that make sure the technology chairman approves of the site, which is it's usually something that starts during the approval process, so you really don't have to worry about this one too much. So the next one would be no commercial, political, or religious purposes. Make sure that the content that you put on your website is appropriate. Next one, generic contact email address in place of personal email address is listed on the public side of the website. That means basically that, let's say my email address is nwemsat@kkg.org. That is a personal email address. It's much preferred if you use a generic email address, such as the name of your alumni association or chapter. So, for example, if your alumni association is called Austin, then you would use austin@gmail.com or msn.com. It's like just a generic email address that all people of your alumni association go to answer emails, and basically like any questions or anything that gets directed to your website. It's best not to use personal email addresses, because once you leave a position, such as if you're a treasurer and you leave that position, people can still contact you if that email address is still on your website. Or, for example, if you left that position and then 2 years later you get emailed because you you were in that position 2 years ago, and someone contacts you back. We do get that from time to time, and it is much better to use generic email accounts, so that way whenever a position changes, that generic email account always stays the same. Just make sure that when changing positions that you pass the email account information to that new person who's taken over the position. Alright, so that's pretty much covered. So the next one is no last names listed or posted unless password protected. We did go over that in the Pages webinar and the Users webinar. So again, make sure that when you create a page, make sure it's listed as for viewers, for chapter or association members, and then anyone who's a chapter association member can view a page. The next one, which is no third-party trademarks used without permission. So in other words, don't copy something from a website and put it onto your website. That does cause copyright issues, and we did have one that got in trouble for having a photo which was trademarked by another company. We did get an email for that, so we had to we didn't take down the website, but we had to take the image off to avoid any further trouble. So again, make sure that if you do copy the image, make sure it's okay with the person who initially created that image. Alright, now for the final one, no confidential fraternity, chapter, alumni, ritual business posted. This same principle applies to the email address, like personal phone numbers or email addresses. Make sure that anything that's supposed to be private is on the private side, anything that you want public to go on the public side. So if you have a personal email address or a personal phone number, make sure those are on the private side. And if you have anything that's fraternity or alumni private, make sure those are on the private side as well. So that pretty much covers that section right there. Alright, and this is additional information. You can also include the mission statement. You can also include community programs, philanthropy events, notable CAPAs. You can also add links to kappa.org and npcwoman.org. And I did cover adding external links to the Pages webinar, creating pages. So if you want to learn how to do that, please refer to the Creating Pages webinar. And that pretty much covers the checklist. And as you can see up here, this says the website checklist for loan associations. There's one for the chapters out there, and it pretty much has the same guidelines. Most of what you're looking for, any fraternity guidelines, is on the website. Just do a search for them, and you'll find them on the website, and just review them. It's just quick things like how to appropriately list like an email, like say appropriately define email address, like make sure you spell it as email, like capital E and then mail. It's kind of those grammar type issues. And again, if you don't know, just go ahead and contact the technology chairman. If you don't know the technology chairman email address, her email address is techchair@my.kkg.org. Just send her an email address, or send her an email, and say that your website is ready to be approved on. She will look at your website, and if there's anything that's amiss, she will let you know about it, and she'll give you a list of things to improve on. Improve on those suggested areas, and then send her another email. Once that's done, she will hopefully approve of the website, and she'll notify us about it. And then once that's done, we will remove the introduction page and add your website into the profile section on the kappa.org main website. So that way your website address will be listed on our main kappa.org website. Anyway, that covers the guidelines section. So again, in order to start the approval process, make sure you contact the chairman, tech chair at kkg.org. And if you have any other questions, feel free to contact web support at kkg.org. We'll be happy to help assist. If you send us an email, we usually respond in a 24-hour period. So that pretty much covers everything. Thanks. Have a great day.